All rise. Judge Butterby Court is now in session. Judge case number JBB 1009. Moore versus Bates.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Okay. Ms. Moore,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, my husband, or I'm sorry, ex-husband, we have a mutually beneficial agreement with our children where he keeps them at night and I keep them during the day.
Okay.
But my job no longer allows me to stay home with them during the day, and I would like for them to go to daycare now during the day, and he does not want them to.
Okay.
All right, buckle up, this one's about to get interesting. A mother wants to enroll her kids in daycare, but the father is firmly against it. Simple disagreement? Not quite. This case dives into shared custody, financial responsibilities, and a father who sees daycare as a germ-infested nightmare. Judge Bundy sets the tone, and the mother wastes no time explaining why she's here. Her job no longer allows her to stay home, making daycare a necessity. The father, however, refuses to budge. He doesn't trust daycare and insists on family care instead. But there's a catch: he hasn't even visited the facility to see if his fears are justified. This case is shaping up to be a clash between logic and emotion. The mother seeks structure and stability, while the father wants control over the environment. And the judge? She's ready to cut through the noise and get to the heart of what truly matters. Let's see how this plays out.
How old are the children?
2 years and 18 months.
Okay. And you already picked out the daycare you want them to go to and everything like
Yes.
that? How much is
It is $500 a month
$500 for both children?
for one child, so it's $1,000 a month for both children.
Oh, okay.
It's a nationally accredited daycare.
Okay. That's not bad for 2 kids. What's your opposition to that?
Well, I don't think they should be in daycare. I think she should stay with them like we originally planned. I didn't get a chance to check out the daycare. I just would rather them stay with her mom or one of our family members.
Okay. Did you let him know which daycare?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He was invited to go meet the teachers and do the tour, but he opted not to go.
So you did have an opportunity to go.
I was invited, but I don't really want my kids in that daycare. I don't want to be in that.
What's wrong with the daycare?
They're full of germs. For starters,
This courtroom is full of germs.
okay, but children germs, they're next level.
Okay, do they disinfect the daycare?
I don't know that.
Right, you don't know. So you haven't even had the opportunity, you haven't taken the opportunity to try to do any kind of research.
Okay.
But the fact that there are germs at the daycare, I mean, that's not.
The mother lays it all out. She and her ex-husband had an agreement she cared for the kids during the day, and he took over at night. But now, with a full-time job, staying home is no longer an option. Her solution? Daycare. And not just any daycare, a nationally accredited one, ensuring education, safety, and proper care. But here's where things get complicated. The father refuses to approve the plan. Has he visited the daycare? No. Has he researched its quality? Also no. His entire argument? Daycares are full of germs. That's it. Sure, every daycare has germs, but that's hardly a reason to reject the idea outright. The mother, frustrated, points to a deeper issue, his germophobia. According to her, this isn't just about daycare, it's about control, a dynamic that even contributed to their split. And that's the real problem here. He's rejecting a logical solution based on personal anxieties, not facts. And the judge? She's already catching on.
A good enough reason why you don't want them in there.
I would rather them be with family, people we know.
Okay, I mean, that's a valid point.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes.
I'm a doctor. I'm around germs all day. This
Okay.
is one reason that we did not work out.
It's a big problem.
My ex-husband is a germaphobe, and he feels like if the children aren't kept in a bubble basically all day, that something terrible is going to happen to them. That's no way for these kids to live. And I have to go save lives every day while he just sits in his living room hermetically sealed off living room in his.
Dramatic.
Well, it's not that dramatic. What's dramatic is he wouldn't even show up for this tour at the daycare so he could see that it is a clean daycare. It's nationally accredited. Also, our children would have loved to have seen you.
Okay. With all due respect, I'm only in. I don't even want to be in this courtroom, Your Honor. It's.
Oh, I can understand that. Sometimes I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
So, I mean,
Yeah, but I'm here. I'm here for the kids, and I would prefer if they weren't in a daycare, if they were at one of our family members, where we can give them special instructions on cleaning and what the children need to stay healthy.
well, I definitely understand, and I agree. In a lot of cases, it is good for the children to be around a family member and everything like that. However, age 2 years old, and what was the other age?
18 months.
18 months. I mean, it's nothing wrong with them going to school already. You do want them to start learning a lot of things. You just do. There are some things that you guys are not going to be able to teach them at home. Not that you can't, it's just you may not have the time to do it. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but I do think it's a good idea for you to go and speak to the teachers, look around the daycare, see about the cleanliness of it and everything like that, and you guys should just work together and co-parent. So
Now, the father speaks, and his argument is crystal clear. He doesn't trust daycare. He insists the kids should stay with family, where cleanliness can be controlled. But there's a major flaw in his reasoning. He's never even visited the daycare. How can he be so against something he hasn't seen for himself? Then comes the real kicker, his paranoia about germs. The mother doesn't hold back, calling him out on an obsession with cleanliness that was a major issue in their relationship. And judging by his stance, she's not wrong. He wants to keep the kids in a bubble, but that's not how life works. The judge isn't buying it. She reminds him that germs exist everywhere, including the courtroom. A structured, accredited daycare can't be dismissed over irrational fears. And if his only argument is germs, this case is about to slip right through his fingers. And he's starting to realize it.
the agreement is just going to stand what it is. You guys keep doing your agreement where you have your time with the children, and you keep rotating like that. Nobody should pay child support in this type of situation. But what I will do to make sure that daycare does get paid is that you guys split it. So $1,000, you pay $500, you pay $500, and it's going to go through the Attorney General of Texas. And that's just the best way to do it, because that at least ensures that the children's daycare is paid for month to month.
Okay, but now I'm paying for the daycare that I don't want them to go to, and I have them at night. She's supposed to be responsible for the day. If they were in night care, I would pay for it, and I just don't see how this is fair. She makes 3 times as much money as I do.
Right, but you guys have been splitting the children, right? You've been splitting the children, and it's not a bad idea. And honestly, that's a very reasonable cost for 2 children at a daycare, because a lot of times, especially the younger a child is, the 18-month-old, it could be more expensive than that. And I think that's fair. Or, I could base, let me see, how much money you make a year? Let's see. Your document says $62,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like for me to base child support that you pay her off of $62,000 a year? Because I can assure you it will be more than $500.
Then no.
Okay. Well, in that case, is there anything further between either of you?
Your Honor, thank you.
That'll be all? That'll be all from you? Okay. Where you all are dismissed.
Now, the law takes over, and the judge wastes no time making the call the kids will attend daycare. It's an environment where they'll learn, grow, and socialize, something they wouldn't get by being isolated at home. The father's concerns? Not backed by facts. Decision made. But there's another issue: who pays for daycare? The judge keeps it simple. Both parents split the cost, $500 each. Seems fair, right? Not to the father. He argues that since daycare happens during the mother's time, she should cover it alone. The judge isn't having it. She delivers a sharp reality check if he pushes back, child support calculations will come into play, and he'll likely end up paying far more than $500 a month. Faced with that reality, he quickly backs down. The decision stands, and the court moves on. And just like that, the legal system does what it's meant to do. The father didn't want daycare, but personal fears don't override practicality. The judge ruled in favor of what benefits the children, not what makes a parent comfortable. In this case, daycare was the logical choice. As for the finances, a fair split. The father tried to argue, but the numbers weren't on his side. The judge made it clear, push too hard, and you'll pay even more. He had no choice but to accept. This case highlights an important lesson. Custody agreements require cooperation, not control. Personal anxieties don't dictate reality. And when logic meets fear in a courtroom, logic wins every time.